If you want an easy manicure to do this spring, then this is the video for you. For those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Jennifer Adcock, and I'm going to show you how to do easy nail art at home. To get you started, all you need is a lamp. This is an LED lamp. It cures in 45 seconds. You just press that little button and you're all good. You need a file. I always like the files that have the buffer on one end, and then you need a cuticle pusher. It's very important to push your cuticles back because you don't want to be putting paint on that skin, and you want to get up any excess, anything that's left over. And then you're going to go in with your file. This is 120 grit. Just make sure that you always file one way and one way only, because you can cause a lot of breakage by going back and forth. I never knew that until I heard it, and I was like, oh, that's why some of my nails break so quickly, because I am doing that. And you can just go in on the side and round them off. Then I always like to take the gray side, it's your buffer, and just kind of like buff out the edges. This just takes away, like just kind of smooths the edge over to ensure like there's a good application. And I like going in with an almond shape. So all you have to do for that is move the file to about a 45-degree angle. Make sure you're still going one way and just pull it back, as you'll see here in the video. It does take some work of how you want your nails. I really like the almond shape. I don't like anything that is too sharp. Like the square is just reminds me too much of fake nails. Then you're going to use some rubbing alcohol and just use a little cleanser pad, or you could use paper towel. I like these. I got them off of Shein, so they're very affordable. And then just this takes off any excess oil, anything that's left over from your prep work. So make sure you give them a good clean, and make sure you're cleaning underneath your nails too, because it's super important to cap your nails each time. That's going to help with chipping as well, and I'm going to show you just how to do that. And I also always like to point out too, if you have oily nails like me, make sure you're washing your hands with Blue Dawn soap before you start any prep work. Now I'm going in with what is called a gel extend by Gel Moment. If you want a comment guide, I can send you my guide to show you how to do all this prep work. It has all these items linked, so they're in one tiny thing. Also in the description, you will find my website that you can go onto and buy all these items that you see me using here. I love using gel extend underneath all my manicures. It just adds more strength. You can even build out your nails. If you want to see how to do that, just make sure you go a couple shorts back and see here how I am capping the edges. You just want to run the brush along, and then you're gonna smooth it out. But these keep your nails nice and long, because I like to run into walls, or walls like to run into me, and this just gives that added protection so I'm not breaking any nails. Then with the gel extend, it is a bit sticky, so I always wipe that off before I go in with my polish. Look how nice it looks. Then for this spring manicure, I am using this beautiful purple color with gel polish. You want to go in with 3 thin coats, or 2 to 3, depending on the coverage that you like. You want nice thin coats. This is going to prevent from any chipping. After you're done each coat, you're going to pop it in your lamp. My lamp just takes 45 seconds. I don't have any patience for anything that's longer than that. I also don't have any patience for using real nail polish. I don't know how I used to do it, and it used to chip all the time. I could never get like a full day out of any kind of polish. So this is where the gel polish came in, because it actually lasts on my fingers. So after you're all done doing all your nails, you're going to go in and cure all at the same time, and we're going to go in and do 3 coats here. I'm only going to do 2 coats of the champagne toast here. That's kind of the pinkish kind of color. And we're going going to do some nail art over that. So after that's all cured, we're going to go in and do some nail art. This is my little secret. I always like mixing a little bit of gel polish in with stamping gel. It's just a whole lot easier to work with. It gives kind of that 3D look to more dimension. Just make sure that you really mix it up. Flowers are my arch nemesis, so be patient with me. There's probably an easier way to do this, but from all the videos I watched, this was the only one that made sense to me. Using a dotting tool, I just put where I wanted the top of the petal to be, and then kind of did like a U shape with a very short, thin brush and made a petal shape with it. I'm sure there's much easier way, so please tell me below so I can finally figure out how to do flowers. And the one great thing about flowers is like it doesn't have to be perfect. Petals are all different shapes, so I just did 3 petals here on the top of my nail and 3 on the bottom. Pretty easy to do it this way. You might just need some patience and you might have to start over a few times, but all is good. Then later in the video you're gonna see that I put in some yellow dots just for the center of the flower, and it all looks so cute, and I'll show you the end process at the very end. Okay, this is the coolest hack that you'll ever do with gel polish. If you have a silicone stamper for your stamping plates, you can also use it for a French tip, which is the easiest way to do French tip. So you're just gonna take a little bit of polish, make sure you're not doing too much on it. I always like to make like as kind of like a small square, and then you're gonna slowly put your finger in it. So aim for it to be at the bottom of the polish and slowly slide it on, and then you're gonna kind of rotate it. My nails are pretty big, so I always like to get like the edge of the nail, depending on how big your nail plate is how much you're going to do, and then just slowly pull it out, because if you pull it out too quickly, it's not going to get that chance to level out. That's one of my favorite things about this gel polish too, is that it's self-leveling, so it just takes a little bit of time for it to self-level. Then after that's all cured, I went in and did some smaller daisies, which was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was probably took me about 7 times to finally get this one. So I went in and made like 7 dots, and then just took my small brush again and did the same thing, the little U, and then just pulled it to the center. Any ones that didn't look quite right, I went back in with a little bit of polish on the brush and made it more into a petal shape. It is quite tricky, I'm not gonna lie, making ones this small. I definitely think I need to get another brush that is a bit small, which you'll see the final process if you hang on to the end. So don't skip to the end. Hold on, watch the whole thing, and then see what it looks like at the end. I know I showed you at the beginning, but you gotta hold on. You gotta see the full thing at the end. So this is where I went in with the yellow. I didn't have any yellow stamping gel, but using the polish is fine. It has a darker color, so it looks great. So just go in with a small dotting tool. For my first fingers, I kind of did the dots over and over again. For the other one, I just did 1 dot. And for my thumb, the same process. Here I went in with champagne toast, so the pink clear kind of color, and don't forget your capping. And then I went in with the French tip, and of course I love to torture myself, so I went in and made a daisy again. So the same process, I did about 7 different dots and try to make them as even as possible. I'm sure they are not at all, and did the U shape to pull down the petal. And then after every manicure, I'd like to go in with my cuticle remover. This is called Eclipse. I love using this just to get rid of any other dead skin. You can use this before or you can use it after. I always like using it after. It's probably better to use it before, but I find it gets rid of all that dead skin and just makes my hands look so much better. Like you can see all that dead skin on there. It's so gross. So tell me what you think of this manicure. Tell me if you created it at home. Tag me in your creations. You can find me on Instagram, and make sure if you've made it this far, you subscribe and drop a comment so I know that you watched till the very end. Okay, thanks. Bye.